been a couple of years since I got really serious about doing video, about doing photography, and over the last year or so is when I really decided I'm going to do it full time. I'm just going for it, and It's been a crazy ride. I was lucky enough to study abroad in Australia when I was in college, and that kind of set me on the path of traveling. And then also just, that's when I discovered video.
I think I grew up with parents who didn't take a lot of risks. That kind of helped me to be like, well, how long do you have to live? Let's go.
Many kids in our generation, I think, feel this when they're just like, you know what? I don't want to live some life that somebody else is telling me that I have to live. You know what I mean? I want to do something that really fulfills me.
Why not just try this and take a risk, whatever, and see what happens? Regardless, you'll grow from it. And you'll walk away with an experience, or you won't walk away sometimes, and that's the scary thing. But that's life as well, and it wasn't going to stop me from taking certain risks. Hey guys, how's it going? This is Breaking Boundary Podcast. My name is Raphael. Over here we have...
What's up, guys? I'm Matt. This is the second episode of the podcast, and we're pretty excited to announce our first guest on the podcast. We have Jonah Kaplan here. And he is a cinematographer, DP. He's a student right now, and we'll just have him introduce himself.
Sweet, thanks, guys. My name's Jonah. I'm a sophomore at Emerson College studying film production, and I do a lot of random little video work too. And so I'm happy to come here and talk to you about what I do, what I'm trying to do, how I got to what I'm doing, and breaking all those boundaries.
Hey. Definitely like that little drop right there.
Hey.
I moved when I was 12, and I moved to India. I had this crazy opportunity where my dad's a teacher, and he was like, it was in a matter of like 3 months. He went to this conference. He wasn't looking for a job.
High school teacher,
and he sat next to this academic dean, and they started talking. She's like, "Yeah, I work in India," and then boom, 3 months later, we're across the entire globe.
Has he always been like that adventurous, that spontaneous?
Oh yeah, no, my parents are weird as hell. Should clarify, weird in the best kind of way.
Yeah, it sounds like I was gonna say, it sounds like weird in a good way.
Oh, they're trekkers, mountaineers, adventurous people from the get-go. That's why they're together. My dad proposed to my mom on a glacier. That's how they live. So it was out of the blue, but it wasn't completely out of the blue. It was like, oh, we're doing this crazy thing now? Okay, cool.
Here we go. What's up, guys? We are back with the Breaking Boundaries podcast. We're excited to bring you another episode. Raphael, how you feeling today?
Feeling fucking good.
Yeah. All right. So today we have a special guest, Tyler Viglione, and he is a local photographer in the Boston area. He also was a photographer in the military, and he lived in a bunch of different states around the U.S. So we're going to actually have him introduce himself. So, Tyler, how's it going?
It's going good. Excited to be here. Basically, started my journey as a photographer in the United States Marine Corps. Served for 4 years over west in San Diego, and that's really where all of what I'm doing today started. Right now I'm working on just the craft as a whole, hammering it in, getting good, getting as best as I can be, and also inspiring those who would like to be where I'm at.
There's a large portion of people that are risk averse, and they think failure means like total failure. Yeah. And not realizing that actually is a prerequisite to actually then be successful.
Yeah.
Like you have to do that.
I can't even say how many pictures or how many photos I've taken.
Yeah.
How many photos I've edited. How much time I spent in Bridge and Lightroom and Premiere. I've learned After Effects. I've learned Photoshop. I've learned everything on the military's dime. Yeah. And now it's my time to get out and really like dive into the craft. It's like when I started this last year, I really asked myself, what was my version of success? Where do I want to take this craft?
That's a good question.
And I couldn't answer it. I still can't answer it because I don't think you're supposed to answer it, at least at my stage in the game or at my age and our ages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
I think it's a question that you continue to work on and you build toward, because for me, I've realized it's not money. Money doesn't make you successful. in my experiences, I've had money and I've been broke, and being broke taught me everything I needed to know.
I've never cared about like this is the way that it's been done, because I just keep on moving around and doing all these different things that I'm like, whatever gets the job done, is what I'm going to do. So yeah, I mean, I think whenever I realize that I can, not just theoretically, but actually can do something new, it opens up an entire like dimension of possibility that's really satisfying for me to move forward.
No, that's what I want to touch upon too. Like when you did your first live performance, right? And kind of talk about like what you mentioned about kind of the fear of that, or the fear of actually doing it. Because I think a lot of times it's like everything that we need, we already have, essentially. Like anything that you want, you already have. It's just kind of how you shift your thinking around it. Yeah. And your fear is a big deal with that too. So, maybe I'd like to hear a little bit more about that. Like how did it feel when you actually did it? And maybe how you built it up in your head. It wasn't really such a big deal, maybe. I don't know how you think about it, but I think that can be what holds a lot of people back, is the fear, and a lot of it's in your own head, and it's not even real.
I think that the way that fear comes out for me is procrastination.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like that's what it is.
So much.
I was super lucky to read to identify and read this book called The War of Art.
Yeah,
great book.
Such a good book.
Fantastic book.
Stephen Pressfield.
Yeah. So he talks about what it means to be professional, and part of that is just like showing up every day, and also like not taking your work personally. And when I am procrastinating, it's generally because I am taking the work too personally. You create the intention, like, okay, well, I want to be a live performer now.
How are you gonna
and
do
like
that?
you literally, exactly, how are you going to do that? And like you tell yourself every day, like this is who I am now, like this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this happen by this time. And that creates a certain amount of pressure, and the pressure, I think, is like it's created from the difference between like what exists and what doesn't exist yet, or the thing that you want to exist. And that intention gets stronger and stronger until finally either something falls in your lap, or you kind of just like explode forward. Right. You know what I mean? Like that's always been the way that it's been for me. It's been like reminding myself of what it is I want to do every day, because I literally have a list of things, and I read them out loud. Yeah. Like every single day, auto suggestion stuff. Think and Grow Rich, guys. Like if there's a book that you could read that would change your life, it's that book. It doesn't matter who you are.
I agree with that.
But it all starts here, because it's like and you either have the choice to control the things you're thinking or not. It's not like that you either deliberately think positive things or deliberately think negative things. It's
you have to train yourself.
You either deliberately direct your thoughts in a positive way that's going to bring value to you, or you do not take control of it, and it will naturally become more negative stuff. You'll lose control of it. And I think of it the way that light and darkness work. Like darkness is the absence of light. Yeah. And if you do not have light, you get darkness. It's not like that darkness is an active thing that like that overrides light somehow. It's just that it's just the absence of light. And it's the same thing, like negative thoughts are really the absence of positive thoughts. It's the absence of deliberate thought, really. And I think that, I mean, it's interesting. You look at some of these people like Jordan Peterson, like Gary Vee, and the things that they're talking about are ultimately control. You can control the direction of your life.